Friends, cryptocurrency technical analysis with me, your pal Rocky Outcrop, coming up right now. There's a lot going on in the markets. Bitcoin kicking around about 46,000. Will we see it get a resurgence? Chainlink in there, just sub $25. And Cardano maybe turn it around on the 4-hour time frame just now. Let's dive right on into it. No time to waste. Hit that like button. Show YouTube that this is good value, quality content. Help, help, help. Let's see if we can get some decent amount of viewership numbers in the cryptocurrency world. That's up behind me right now is a stock called MMAT. Be sure to tune in for a live video sometime. I do stocks, forex, commodities, anything, all that good stuff. And here's the Bitcoin chart at the minute, and you can see, whoopsie doopsie, you can see as I kind of sort the layout from it that we're kicking around below this red horizontal line at the minute. Things a lot more positive when we're above 75,000. Currently we're not. Am I looking for shorts? Well, not necessarily. However, up in these regions I was. So in that sense, when are we looking to sort of close them out? Well, if we did see it dropping down to 44,500 would be probably a pretty wise region to think about that. Currently at the minute on this one, we're actually hoping for a bounce right now as well. So like, you know, managing any sort of short risk that you have here at that 47k area is probably wise as well. Certainly taking out the Michimoku cloud at 48, just like, you know, it's just you can take it off the table. That's all fairly short-termism. If you are trading within the range here, then of course, like looking to get up above 49 and $50,000 really for closures of at least, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 hour candles and upwards is going to be your bare minimum for like actually sort of trading this outside of this current slight downward trend that we've got on the go. There are ways to look at this where you could maybe think, hey, we've got a breakout in tune for us if we do get a turnaround at some point. But at the minute, just like how are you going to fit this in? How are you going to fit this? How are you going to fit this sort of thing in? Like, you know, how are you going to do it? You're going to try and do it like this. It's not ideal, really, you know. So in terms of the downward slope that we've got on the go, there is bullish divergence on these lows. It's taken us so far with our trading range, you know, 46,000 up to 47,500. So this actual volatility in here of the sort of 2 to 2.5% is really just like, you know, is going to be your bread and butter. This is it. It exists. So so kind of, you know, you're going to have to look beyond that in terms of where you're managing your risk and how you're going to be approaching this. So in a market where you're entitled to use leverage and go ahead and do that as much as you want, just be aware then, I suppose, that you're extremely likely to be liquidated in just any given 15-minute period time frame if you were to get up and walk away from your computer with anything over 50x and nothing happen in the markets. If you were to see the prices just go between their ranges at the minute, then 20x would get you liquidated. If you were to see things move over the period of what's typical in a day, 15, 12, 10x, that will also get you liquidated as well, right? So be aware of that. If you're trading with leverage in Bitcoin at the minute and you plan on, like, you know, not using stops and also not being at your desk at the same time, then anything over 3 or 4, I'm not a financial advisor, will see you getting liquidated, right? So anyway, that's the current situation. Could this turn into a head and shoulders with your shoulder on your left, your head in the middle, your shoulder on the right, like we spoke about a couple of days ago? Yes, it could. Yes, it has. Yes, this is the neckline. Yes, it'd be breaking it. Range from the high 50,000, the low down here at 47,000. Knock an extra 3 grand off that, you're going down to 44, 45, right? Sweet. How are we doing here? Plenty of time. Didn't look at oscillators or anything. Did get a brief glimpse down here to show that there was a little bit of bullish divergence with this most recent low. That's fine. Rick and Morty lips on the go with the DMI over here. Just not having actually, not having. There they are. Not having actually, you know, managed to successfully traverse past each other, and the stochastics haven't turned around and existing below the moving average at the minute, aiming towards that neutral line. Can we find support? Can we get it here? Well, yes, there's an edge, there's a chance here, but movements beyond 2.5% are kind of going to be typical within this range, and movements beyond that are you know, so it's on you. Like, what do you want to do? I would wait till it's at the lower ends of that, or else until it's pushed past this region. One of the two. We're going to 5 minutes more or 4 minutes more. So we'll keep this going for just now for another 4 minutes, right, as we take a look at the altcoins and stuff like that. So that's a two-sided things. And by the way, at this point in the video, I'd like to say that YouTube really, really appreciates watch time. So just like, you know, if you want me to do well in the cryptocurrency world, watching this whole thing is like so amazingly, really, really does help. like more than anything else. If you're not willing to do that, but you still wouldn't mind me seeing doing all right in this thing that I try really hard at all the time, then the like button, that's pretty good. And comments down below massively help as well, right? Okay, so let's crack on then. How's Ethereum doing? Are we going to be going down to $2,800? Are we going to be doing that or not? That's the wrong chart. Ethereum USDT. There we have it. So are we going to be doing that? $3,103 still ranging down the way, still trending down the way. Yes, we're getting spurts of bullish divergence. I mean, look at this, by the way. Here between these two lows, you got a low in here, a low in here. Between these 2 points, then we got a rise up. It actually took out our prior highs and then dropped down the way and came in for another lower low. Looking at the oscillators down below, what you're seeing in here is, of course, this low and this low, the corresponding disparity here is showing us that there's that bullish divergence. What actually happened then, we came up and put in what looked like a high. Could we be trending? Well, no. Be very aware of your risk management areas and your profit taking areas up above. Those remain the case at the minute as well. Probably is on this one, be still looking back towards where my orange line is at 3,180, trading it from where it is now. So we're only really looking around about these regions before you could potentially see more downward price action if this thing were to be kind of just, a little bit negative in this zone. And be aware of spurts of bullish divergence, bringing us in and giving us a confused picture in terms of what's happening up above. That's the picture on that one just now. It's not giving you your sort of the reliability in terms of higher highs and higher lows. Be very aware, therefore, of your key pivot points in the market, right? Which is identifiable very easily, for example, just by sticking on the Ichimoku cloud, not being on the 50-minute time frame, jumping up to the 4-hour time frame, for example, and then just zooming on in and saying, look, be very aware of your pivots in the market, for example, as we can see right here on the show, right? So that's just education. It's less spelling it out for you in terms of where you put your money and all the rest of it, but there you have it. 4-hour time frame, $25 exactly to the pennies. I tuned in here on Chainlink, and it's not a suspended market or anything. This will change as soon as the next trade goes through on this exchange outside of that price, but there you have it. Boom, and exactly there you can see it's a real chart. Doji candle in here for us. Yes, there's an edge in the market. Again, looking at your range there, down to 24.50. Bear in mind then, if you were to go YOLO on this one and go 100x, you'd be wiped out just in any given candle, because there's a 1.5% range on it. Just be aware of that. So anyway, that's how that works. People don't realistically use 100x, and if they do, it's a sort of a component of cross margin against the people who are using it as isolated margin. It doesn't work, obviously. And then here you have it here in UXDZ, just Tezos, what we talk about. Oh, look at that, back down at 450. They went all the way up to 545. Okay, cool. So we're operating in and around about our ranges still, our support and resistance zones. If we can find a turnaround here, then yes, blah, blah, blah. That's where we had it. This last high obviously identifies one in and of itself, but then the next target for us is going to be up towards $586. I'm not really going to do much analysis on this one at this point, really, I suppose. I'll just kind of wrap this up because, we've covered this so well for so long. A little bit of caution at this region, I suppose there would have been, but it's just been super bullish price action. We've really enjoyed it. It's been great. It's been great, right? It's just whatever. If you want me to do more detail on this, tune into the show sometime. Let me know. Much love, much respect. I'm Rocky Outcrop. Hit that like button. Does help. Share it with your friend. It'd be cool if you did.